Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're back again for another wreath today. Today we're going to make a bubble wreath. We haven't done one in a little while, and I have this pretty fabric mesh that I think will make a very pretty summer bubble. And I need a new wreath for my back door. I don't know if I'm going to put this one out there or not because it will take a lot of weather. I might put this one on the front and put a different kind out on the back. But anyway, and anyhow, we're going to make a bubble today. And just, the bubbles are great because even if you don't have a big area to put a wreath in, one of these can fit nicely. I'm sorry, I'm trying to block the window with my head. Otherwise, you'll be looking in the glare. So anyway, there. So I'm going to take you down to the desk and we're going to get busy making a fabric mesh summer bubble wreath. Before we go down, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified when I come out to play. Be right back. We'll make our bubble. Alright, here we are down at the table. And woo, I went to my Dollar Tree this past week and they had a whole supply of the wreath forms. So I picked up 10 of them. That'll keep me busy for a little while. So this is one of the Dollar Tree 14-inch wreath forms. And this is the mesh I'm going to use. Isn't this pretty? It's like a peachy orange. And I think it's going to make a really pretty bubble. So I'm going to start with the usual gather at the top. And I'm just going to go down through the frame. Kinda. There we go. And zip tie it around. And it doesn't make any difference which wire you zip tie it around. Alright, now I'm going to get my raw edges on the bottom, and I'm going to go right up to this crossbar with this first one. It gives me something to push against. Okay, and I'm going to make about 10-inch bubbles. And I push this right up against the one I just was at. I'm going to be going around the middle two wires. Now I have pink chenille stems, and it doesn't really make a bit of difference what color. Here's what I'm going to do to start. Let me show you on the back. I'm going to go a nice twist, then I'm going to go up and just twist around one of these pieces of the crossbar. Okay? And that's just going to hold that bubble tight to the crossbar. Now I cut 18 chenille stems in half, so I have 36 pieces cut, and so I'll be able to tell how many bubbles I make by how many pieces I use. You can already see this is going to be very pretty. I had another project in mind for this particular mesh, but I decided I really wanted to use it for a bubble, and we'll get some more for my other project. Nice, huh? Keeping your edges underneath. Now this time, I'm pushing it up with my thumb and I'm going to give it a nice twist. And then I'm going to twist it to one that I just finished. And that's going to help me keep them tight together. And this will be the last one in this section, I think. So I have 6 in this first section, and that's normal for me. Now you won't get 6 in every section because as you go along, it gets so puffy that you don't have room for all of those. But we'll move on to section 2. 2 things to remember: pull the zip ties with this hand. Take this thumb and push it against the frame, and that gives you a good tight twist. Okay, now the first one in the new section is going to move a little bit until we get some more in here. Push it up, push it down with your thumb, and give it a twist. And I'm going to go around this crossbar. I didn't with the first one, but this is close enough still that I can do that. And every so often, you want to double check that your raw edges are underneath. If they are not underneath, you won't be able to open your bubble. You have to be a little careful with these chenille stems when you cut them in half, because it leaves little sharp pieces of wire at the ends. So you need to be careful when you're working with them. And also, the Dollar Tree frames tend to have some very sharp pieces too. So be aware. I usually end up with some kind of a nick. You have to reach inside and find those 2 ends. Puff them out. This will be very pretty. I think I've got a nice ribbon. That ribbon we used the other day that has the butterflies on it. I think one of the butterflies is almost the same color as this mesh. So that'll look really nice. Can I squish one more in there? I think I can. And there we go. How is that, huh? Isn't that pretty? And it's not, it's a very soft color. So it's not a Halloween orange. It's almost like a tangerine, I would say, maybe. Now let me just show you something. You see this frame? You see that metal, how far it's sticking out at the end? You need to be careful of that. I can feel it on my finger when I was working there. And that's what I mean about these frames. They do the job, but they're not the most precise frames you'll ever see. But I'm not going to complain. Couldn't get them for so long. Just be aware. Looked like that was inside out, but it's not. Because you know, if it's Friday, you're going to hear the rubbish trucks going by. I love it. Do it to the one before it. Such a pretty poof, huh? Okay. Now I'm eyeballing the 10 inches. I've done a number of these, so I kind of have an idea. If you need to measure, just use your mat. Use a ruler. These might be a tiny bit smaller than 10. I'll measure this next one and see. This mesh is poofy because it's fabric mesh. So it makes a good bubble without being too long. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 inches. Close enough. It's kind of more important to get them as close to the same size than to make them a particular size. But I wouldn't go any bigger than 10. Okay, I'm in the new section, so I'm going to go to the crossbar. And wrap it around. Pushing it with my thumb down against the frame and up against the bubble that I just finished. Oh, there. Push it down against the frame and up against the bubble I just finished. Aren't they pretty bubbles, huh? Checking my raw ends. This crossbar coming up is another one. I'm going to come up here and go to the one I just did. Is another one with a big piece sticking out. You see? Be careful. I think I get one more in here. stick your fingers inside and you'll find the other edge, and that's where you pull from. But with bubbles, you see, I didn't get this one out, I don't think. Nope. There we go. With bubbles, you can push them up, push them down to get them even. Okay, I'm going on to the last section now. Double check my raw edges. I'm going to push. Let me turn you over. Give it a twist. And see if I can twist it around that crossbar. Okay, you see it here? I love this color. I just can't get over. Orange is really a pretty color. But you know, we very rarely use orange. We tend to save it for Halloween and the fall. But this particular shade is beautiful, summery looking. It's not the least bit fall looking. Although you probably could make it that way, depending on what you put on it. Sorry, I had to go off for a minute. My memory card was full, so I had to get rid of a few things. Hopefully I didn't get rid of anything from today. Alright, this is my last one. And you can see, this is all the mesh I have here. Probably about 2 more, but I don't need 2 more. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it down through the frame. This one we started with. Now, I have 2 ties left. That means I did 34 bubbles. And I had enough mesh to do 36. Look at that. And you can't tell the beginning from the end, can you? Look at that. What a pretty wreath. Alright, I'm going to get my ribbon and we're going to make a pretty little bow for it. Back in a second. Okay, here's the ribbon I think is going to look so pretty. See, it has that same orange and the butterflies. Now I'm going to make a nice long tail. And you don't make big elaborate bows, at least I don't, with bubble wreaths. I'm actually going to make one more on each side. And another long tail. Under my thumb, around the back. And put a little piece of wire. It's actually a big piece of wire. Tighten it up. I'm going to go down between one of these bubbles and around the frame. That is really pretty. Now I have this little flower that I don't have my glue gun on right now, but I think I might take just this one little orange flower and put it right there in the middle of that bow. So there you go. Isn't that pretty? The colors. And I like the tails. Oop, I didn't do this one. So nice. Okay, I'm going to take it up and put it on the door. We'll see how pretty this is in person. Be right back. All right, guys, look at this. Isn't that pretty? I love the color. Love the color. And the bow is so pretty with the different colors in it. Did you notice I found a butterfly? I thought that added a cute little touch. That's just one of those Dollar Tree clip-on butterflies. That's still a good sized wreath, but they're not as poofy as some wreaths are. I love it. Give me a thumbs up. I think that one's great. Give me a second and I'll be right back. So there you go. And there's that pretty wreath right over there. I love it. I think it's just beautiful color. And that little butterfly ribbon is just perfect. It makes just the right statement. A pretty summer wreath. So I'll have to find a good place to put that. It's really, I don't want to put it out where it's going to get a lot of weather, although I don't know exactly. I don't make that many with, I'm sorry, I was looking at me. I'm so pretty I had to watch me, but I should be watching you. I don't make too many with fabric mesh. It is a nice mesh to work with, though. Very nice. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a great afternoon. I hope you stay safe, play by the rules, and I will see you again on Sunday with the next side dish for your summer barbecues. This time we're going to make a dessert. Yum. Love dessert. So I'll see you again on Sunday morning. Until then, everybody play nice now. Love ya. Bye-bye.